matter and have a separate meeting in the very near future to discuss various issues, get some professional help maybe to help us understand some of the problems which we then face. So the clerk will, when she comes back from holiday, if she's got time before she goes on holiday, try and get a day where we can meet in the hall, because I think it's, we need to walk around and look at everything which is there, and probably do it with the SCA, you and Richard, or something like that as well, just to see what needs to be addressed and so on and so forth. Otherwise, we could go on tonight and lots of bits and pieces we get lost in. Is everybody,
do we need to have a formal...
everybody happy with
do we
everything?
have to have a formal vote on taking it off the agenda? Because I would propose, if somebody would like to second, that we do that. I think it's a good idea. We're also some members missing, and I think they should all be included in these discussions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is everybody in agreement?
So propose a deferment, yeah?
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Funding update, we've covered, unless you've got anything else.
Just to answer your question, I have chased it, and as Peter said, it's southern water which is the hiccup. We just can't get anything from them, and I've as well copied Peter into it. Excuse me. So I'm no further forward on that either. But yeah.
I mean, if I might just say, no detail, it has taken us 8 months to get Southern Water to agree that we didn't use 10 times as much water in 4 weeks that we've ever used in 10 years. They are an impossible organisation to get an answer from. Portsmouth Water is supplied, it sorted it out. Rotten meter didn't work. They would not talk to each other. One supplies, one takes away. They were impossible, so you have to just keep on it.
We will.
I think the only reason for raising it is that obviously there was this heightened focus, and obviously great to take advantage of that, and they were clearly continuing to work after the initial flood subsided, even though Keynoor Lane was in quite a bad condition for a longer period of time. And I think work was happening, and it was just to see, did they find anything? Did they fix things? You know, it's communication with it at the end of the day. Do they still have something to do? Will they be coming back? What will it's not a criticism of anybody, it's just like...
No,
It's happened.
Yeah.
Over the years,
They are supposed to publicly tell, it should be publicised after they've done an action, which is on the legislation, that they have to inform the public of what they've done and what they found. It doesn't give guidelines as to timings, unfortunately, but they are, by law, they have to, under the legislation, they have to publicly announce things. There was something else, sorry, it's gone from my head. If I think of it, I'll tell you at the end.
Thanks, Alison.
your turn again, newsletter update.
Okay, newsletter. Basically, at the moment, we're doing a newsletter, we're just continuing, but we've got to get, we're doing more of an actual breakdown of different things within the parish, what's pertinent to the parish, which is going into the church magazine. They're very kindly putting in a whole page for us. But we're also going to work with Richard from the SCA, and hopefully he's getting off the ground another newsletter that will be circulated to the church, to the parish. So that's in hand, and that's where we're at the moment. I don't know if it'll come out this month, but certainly we're aiming to the next month, April, hopefully getting a combined newsletter up and running.
And will there be an opportunity for people who haven't previously taken the old digital one that's now to apply to have it to be put on the list? Because not everybody had them.
I presume that's what we're planning, definitely.
Yes.
Certainly that's what, so from the Parish Council, from our point of view, I'm putting together a newsletter. It will be then sent to Richard, who will then incorporate that within the SCA.
Right.
It's not going to necessarily, I'm not sure what we're calling
Okay,
it.
but anyway, it will be considered that there will be people who weren't on the subscription list for this break, for instance.
The idea is that it will have a wider distribution as far as I'm aware from Richard, is that right?
Yeah.
Pretty well,
Sure, it'll work out.
Oh,
Sure, it'll work out.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a view that this is also an ideal opportunity to see both newsletters come together, because I find it very strange we have two. I know the reasons for why it happened, but that's all over the bridge. And if we can try and put it together, to have a hard copy for those who want a hard copy, an online copy for everybody else, then
Have you discussed this with the Parochial Church Council? I mean, they are the...
I know.
They would be the people.
I've spoken to the chairman about
I'm
it.
not sure you could just decide to
No.
incorporate the parish magazine into
No.
your newsletter. It would have to be done a different way.
Totally agree.
Yes.
But I spoke with Martin. We've agreed that it is an option that we might like to take further.
Yeah, sure.
We'll talk to Father Chris about it and seek his views as well, because obviously bits in the parish newsletter which aren't appropriate to go in the church newsletter, like all the advertising and all that sort of business. So it's just
The advertising goes in the church.
Yeah, we advertise in the church.
not the amount that goes into
No,
I
but
forget which is which.
probably do that.
Just to know in the public, so having been part of other parishes, we had one newsletter.
Yeah.
And it was just so much more helpful to as a mother, housewife, running a home. It just got one thing, and it's got all my local information in it. It's got all the local advertising, all the services I want. The one tree surgeon, if we need a cleaner.
But this is all very well. Sorry to interrupt you, because we don't usually have long speeches from people in the public. I don't think we can go on with this until we have an idea of whether the church would find this at all acceptable, because the church magazine has always been there, and a lot of people will always want it there. And if there's stuff that people don't want in a newsletter because it's in the parish magazine, then we'll still have to have two publications.
I fully agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, good. Finish.
But I don't think we should miss an opportunity to discuss the way forward rather than just living with what we've got.
Yeah, but I wouldn't like to see.
Mr. Chairman, can I just ask, who is Richard? Is he the new man? And his year?
He just voted in at the last AGM, correct?
I know who he is in that case, thank you.
Mrs. Mont,
Yes.
this is for update, please.
I'm waiting for Alison to update me actually.
Mrs. Mornington, don't you know?
Lewis, you're meant to be working.
We're on
Together.
So we've got about 12 attendees.
Well, I was waiting for an update. I told you that, and I
Oh,
waited for an
more than
update.
that, tonight. You told me 8.
Yeah, basically, I mean, we've had about, did I say that?
12.
Replies, of which a few have said unfortunately they can't come this time, but they would be interested in the future. And we've got about 8 to 10 people, but they're bringing in other people with them as well. So it'll be sort of, I think it's going to be about 15, and there might be more because some people might not have replied about it and still turn up.
So I think tomorrow night's going to be quite relaxed. Good. Not speaking and really just finding out what they want from us. I think that's the big thing, isn't it? Like you said, is what do they want out of these meetings, out of these things, how often do they want it, blah, 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 and then we'll move forward and some sponsors. So really that's to say. We'll feedback more next month.
I will be there.
What is the position with drinks?
No,
Are we having the bar open? Bar is open, but is everybody going to buy their own drinks at the bar?
I think we're going to have tea and coffee. I'll bring tea and coffee, milk.
And then they can buy a drink at the
And
bar?
then if they want to have something else, the bar will be open. That is correct, isn't it? No, don't give me that look. I put this ages ago.
What's this about?
If we're going to have people who we might want them to come again, should we not have a very small kitty that we would give to the SCA to give them a drink? I don't know.
I mean, I'm quite happy to do that. I think that's a good thing to do, to be honest. We obviously need to vote.
Yes, I think
It's a small investment. It's a small investment. We should have got to put 50 quid behind the bar.
Exactly that.
For the parish council.
Proposed, seconded?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the
We're,
amount?
we're going to do some light refreshments. Trish is very kindly doing something,
Tiny.
and I'm going to bring some things, so but just a few things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to reimburse him for small things like that, but I think if we put a few things in the bar, I think it would be a
Have
gesture.
a glass or
Yeah, glass of wine or that was fine.
well, I think yes.
Can we set a date?
It's a gesture.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, after 7.
We don't got
For the business people.
if you want. Yeah.
But up to now, I didn't know there was to be a bar.
That was in my request when I first, it was months ago.
We are having a slight degree of problem because the bookings were always done in a book. At the moment, they are being transferred onto a computer, and it has been hell to get it onto the computer. That, I can tell you, has been done this afternoon. It's been a 4-hour exercise. So we have been a little bit at 6s and 7s with who's booked for what. You know, we know it from a hard copy book, but we're trying to make it available to all trustees so that one can see at a glance without having to go down to the building to look at the book to say no they can't or yes they can. So that's been the problem, but that's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night,
At
yes.
what time?
7 o'clock.
7.
I'm sure.
And
I think it's at 7:30
Just
in the
outside.
Parish magazine.
The letter says 1900, actually.
It's all right, okay.
It is 7 o'clock.
Is any, do you have to be on a list to be able to serve behind the bar?
you have to be qualified, shall we say, is the right word.
And sign a piece of paper.
Yes,
I mean, I'm quite happy to serve behind the bar.
I think
I have done it in my youth, but that was a long
I
time
think
ago.
we might have volunteered.
Ah,
Just saying,
is he on the list? Are you on the
He's
list?
there.
I'll volunteer if needed. If it's a
It'd be
big
probably
problem,
if we need someone.
I'll go down the
Yeah.
line.
If it's a problem, I'll withdraw my idea
No,
of
no,
that
no.
was paying for them a drink. But I
If
just,
we can get some glasses, it's easy enough for me to go down to Booker's and get whatever.
I've
No,
got
you-
loads of
You
glasses.
need
You've got
24
glasses.
bottles of wine.
You've got glasses.
you don't need to do that. I mean, I'm quite happy that you know you run the bar.
Yeah, I'll be a
Um,
bit busy, but I'm sure we can manage if you're happy for us to do it, and we'll just put whatever into the bottle for the
I
list.
think
Yeah,
we
when it-
need, what, 12 bottles
Is that
of
right?
wine, 12 bottles of
If you
wine,
want
or
to
something like that.
we only got 10 people coming. We were only 24 bottles of wine.
I'll tell you, Mary's actually.
There's wine behind the bar. You don't have to buy it.
That's fine.
You don't have to buy wine.
time?
7 o'clock.
7.
7.
And do you have wine there? Or-
Yes.
That's
Glasses.
fine. That's fine.
There is
And
beer,
beer,
there's
that's
cider,
fine,
etc.
absolutely.
Lager,
You
etc.
don't need anything on that.
That's all.
Okay, can
We
we
can.
just
And you'll
decide on
watch
a
this.
figure? How much are we going to put in the bar?
What's realistic? I mean,
Now,
well,
Marie,
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
£100? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, £100 proposed, seconded.
Yes.
Thank you. All agreed?
What have we just decided on?
£100.
£100.
You proposed it. Wait to start with.
Right, let's move on into the bar. Bus route 51, this is a quick one. I think you will be the plans of where the bus stop is to propose to be outside the Peckham Reserve. As it really affects the RSPB rather than ourselves, I think should leave that just up to them to approve it.
Yeah.
They've got problems.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to say, I don't know if anybody else has. No?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I have got a further update, actually.
Okay.
Okay, just very quickly, the plans are now in. They have been sent to the RSPB. I actually had an email from him today, which I glanced at. The RSPB are requesting that they only do one side to start with, because it's the wrong time of year for cutting back shrubbery and everything, because obviously it's nesting or whatever. So I've got to go back to county and Stagecoach to see whether that's an option, because they wanted to try and get this work done before the end of March, but
Well, there won't be much cutting to do to put in a bus stop, will there?
There is an exception for right-of-ways, they are allowed to chop,
Sorry.
they are allowed to chop right-of-ways if essential. season. Is that what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say.
There is an allowance for some bits.
It's quite cold. I don't think there've been many nests yet.
Not by even more.
No.
We're the RSPB.
It's been a bit colder, I think.
We'll leave it with Clark to as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
When she gets back from holiday. Wonderful. Correspondence, we've had letters of thanks from the charities we fund with money to. Does anybody need to know any of the details?
No.
Okay.
Just please, Laura, to do.
Footpath 62, which is the footpath leading from Highley Road up towards Partridge's Garage and beyond. There's been a letter sent in by a parishioner saying he's concerned about the level of maintenance, let's leave it like that, which is carried out on the path. If you cast your minds back 3 years, this went on for weeks.
We've had this
And
before.
generally, everybody said the path was much improved and so on and so forth. We sent a holding response to the parishioner because there are some issues or some questions which we want West Sussex County Council to answer, which came out of the last investigation. When we've got those answers back, I think we're in a much better position to advise on how to proceed. So where we are at the moment, holding reply with the parishioner, we're just waiting for West Sussex to come back to us.
Have we identified the parishioner?
I know who it is, but I'm not going to say.
It's okay.
Okay? I don't know, it's not the place or time
No,
to
this
say.
is. Well, I remember that path and it was just quite good.
Liz?
That's all.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Matters of urgent public importance. Sorry, yes.
Lack of response, I think that they...
Wonderful.
they-
Let's move on. Schedules of receipts and payments. Promises bank statement 2026, which you've got on your agenda. Can I ask you to do your...
Yes.
Very
So I suppose...
Sorry, just before you start, Adrian, Chairman, may I turn over the page on from 151? There's a little bit of a reference before we come to the list of recyclable clothing bank £40. Is we've started that, have we?
Yes, we
We've done
have.
it.
It's wonderful.
And it's been being used.
Yes, yes.
Excellent, thank you.
I've used it. Chairman's used
Sorry,
it.
you carry on.
I thought you were wearing it.
That's off the record. I'll make you outside. Yeah.
Before you start, Adrian, the other one that the Yeep lockers, I'm in the process of sorting that out as well, and that'll be a quarterly income to us. So that'll be, I think it's around 100 and something pounds or something like that. So another form of income, but that's being sorted at the moment as we speak.
As we speak, excellent.
Right, Chairman, I'd like to propose that we agree on block items 15.1 through to 15.2/13, covering income and expenditure.
We've got a seconder.
Just one question. Under 15.2.7 of West Sussex ALC, planning training with S. Tilbury, £96. We discussed a training session with Mr. Tilbury, didn't we, earlier on in this meeting?
Yes.
So we've already got experience of his business.
Who had that training?
That was the chairman and Councillor Parsons.
Okay.
I think it's time we stopped having individuals on training courses. I think we should all have it, or not.
It was circulated to everybody, they were the only two that was on.
No, I think I asked to go on one and was told there wasn't a space for me. Anyway, let's cross over that. I think it's a bit divisive because you get someone who knows something and someone else who don't. So I think we should...
Hence my suggestion that we all should have.
Indeed, indeed. I think